All right, so we got to talk about Robin Williams, of course. He passed away. He was very depressed, and he killed himself. It's looking like asphyxiation. And when you just take comic relief alone, making all this money for homeless people, that's a fantastic thing. He was 63 years old. His publicist is saying he was battling severe depression at the time whenever he killed himself. Danny is rating him from the couch. Twitter became an orgy of everyone showing off on how they're the most understanding of mental illness and depression after Robin Williams died, and it seemed fucking unbearably fake. I agree. It drips with self-centeredness. I can't explain it, and I get it. Like I said, I know why. It's death. Maybe you start thinking about your own death, and you don't know how to deal with it. But I was just hanging out with a comic the other day, and we happened to be talking about Robin Williams, joke thievery that I have to get into. I know you don't. Should I wait a month? I have to get into it. But we're talking about this, how unfunny he is, how nobody cares about this last TV show. And I see him on Facebook, the best, #legend. And I'm like, what are you doing? Because this doesn't go, you know what? I'm going to hire this comic because he's sensitive. You're going to get lost in the ether. What are you doing? Because you don't know what to do. But it's incredibly fake and odd, and it does bug me for a reason.
But wouldn't you agree that he is a legend? The fact that I know his name and that I could name 5 of his movies off the top of my head, that's legendary status, whether it's, you like his stuff or don't like his stuff. And I think that people go, no, he was so funny. They're remembering the good parts of his career. When you have a career for that long, do you not deserve for people to look at your overall picture as a career, as a person who affected people?
I've seen these movies, of course. A lot of these movies are great. Of course, he's a legend, or I wouldn't be talking about him for this long. And if this is what they're thinking, and being this weird semantics, I'm thinking of more than one person that I happened to talk to recently that hates Robin Williams. And I see them write great. Now, you're not writing great because we all love Mrs. Doubtfire. It's when my dad paid for a movie in a hotel, and he's very cheap, and that was a big deal to us. You're saying he's great, and he's not great. He stole jokes from your friend. But I when he was alive, I wanted his reputation ruined. I wanted it to be out there, and I'll tell you my proof, that he's a joke thief. Now, do I not want that not to go down to people? Because I do. So when's a good time to start? November?
I think you have the right to say whatever you want.
When he's remembered, totally. I want him to be remembered as a joke.
That is fair.
And maybe that'll stop other joke thieves. You have in comedy clubs, listen to what they would do in the 80s. If Rob, you know how you get the light when you're a comedian, right? Maybe you have 5 minutes left, 2 minutes left. It's time to wrap it up. The light is behind the audience so the audience can't see it. These clubs would blink the light fast, and that was almost a warning siren. And it was a warning siren. And I guess siren is noise. It was like a warning siren. It means Robin Williams is in the back of the club. And
don't do your A material.
Right. Robin Williams will steal your good shit. Sometimes comics would get off the stage and say, fuck it. He's in here.
Jesus.
He was known to take people's stuff.
You know what's so fucked up about this? He could have hired these people for $50.
Yeah.
And they would have written those jokes for him, but they would have gotten it on their resume. They would have said that they worked with him. They would have had the experience. He had enough money to hire all these people look, I'm going to use this and get so much more exposure out of it. And then you write new jokes.
Here's a comic. I've been in clubs in LA where Robin will walk in the room and whoever's on stage will just walk off.
Wow.
This is Kevin Knox. He wrote the book I Killed, True Stories of the Road from America's Top Comics. Robin is a ferocious performer, but he isn't the kind who can generate material, which is what people say about him, right? His style is to watch people and regurgitate what he sees.
Then he's a good actor, and he was a really good actor, don't you think? But don't do that.
Stephen Pearl, a veteran comic, worked on the San Francisco circuit. He says he caught Robin Williams stealing some of his jokes. And he said, I know what the fuck you're doing. Stop taking my jokes. Robin Williams sheepishly copped to the charges, opened up his wallet, and went to pay him.
Wow.
I said, hey, what's going on? And he says, oh, sorry, and then gives some compensation. And I remember hearing this story before, and I remember another comic trying to justify it. Like, well, at least Robin paid him. What?
It's so insulting. And the comic, if he took his money, bless his heart, take that shit. Because, all right, I know he's going to steal it anyway, and I could use the money.
I'd take your money and threaten your life if you still take it. What do you think of that? Williams wrote a check for $1,000 at one time when he was caught. And there were a few more checks, like different people. I catch him, let's say if I caught him, he gives me $1,000 check. He has money. He doesn't have to be doing this, like I'm just saying. Never mind integrity. Then I catch him again, and he goes, oh, fuck, looks like I owe you more.
Maybe he's just mismanaging his money. He doesn't know how to hire people. It's not a retroactive thing, Robin. Oh, is that too late or too soon?
Right. Robert Klein. Now, just to be clear, these are real comics. Says things would float into Robin's head that he heard on stage, sometimes with unhappy results. Some of Williams' longtime friends defend him, saying a key component to his brilliance is his lack of a filter, his inability to block ideas from entering or leaving his head. What? Which means that if Williams hears a joke, he feels compelled to repeat it, even at the risk of infuriating his colleagues. He can't even help it. His mind is so brilliant. He'll take this, put it on an album of his, and take the money and the praise for it. Your album was great, Robin. Thank you. I mean, that's how good he is.
This is why we have to bring awareness to mental illness. This is a special kind.
Oh, he's insane. Believe me. He is also an excellent actor, and that you can't steal. This is when I was proving Dane Cook is a joke thief. And people would say to me, well, you can't just steal and you have to have some talent. Right? You have to. I'm like, what are you even defending? Yeah, I like this first special because he was a comic that wasn't like, boo-hoo me. I like that kind of thing. But then you figure out what's going on. Yeah, so what? He was good in movies. He was good in movies, and I like these movies, and I'll watch these movies again. He is a thief. Yes, he's a good actor. He's good in these movies. What he is at his core, you would consider a comedian, and he stole his stuff. Now, you can let him fucking rest in peace. Just know that this is something. Don't say it's not important. It is important.
KeithAndTheGirl.com